Stay away from easy women. What makes a woman easy? How do you spot an easy woman? And more importantly, why is she an easy woman? What made her this way? This is what I'm going to be going through in this video. Guys, let me paint the picture for you. Have you ever been in a situation where you've met a woman and it all seemed too good to be true? Whether you meet her online, on a dating app, or in person, she's showing you what you perceive to be high interest. She's showering you with attention. She's moving very quickly. She's rushing the intimacy, right? She's willing to sleep with you right away on a first date. And you're thinking to yourself, I'm an alpha male. She's crazy about me. She's sending you provocative pictures. She's telling you how much she loves you, and it's only been the first few weeks. And she doesn't even know who you are as a man. All of these things that I've just said should raise alarm bells to you. Because it is not normal for a woman to be doing those things with you right away. You see, so many men get involved with easy women, low quality women. And then the worst part is, you start building an emotional attachment with her, forming a bond, when she's just using you for attention, for external validation. And at a moment's notice, she will leave, because she's not with you for you. She's unable to form an emotional attachment, because she has a low self-esteem and other issues. So you might be thinking, well, if a woman is giving me sex right away, doesn't that mean she's interested? Guys, if she's willing to give it to you that easy, she's willing to give it to anyone that easy. If it's easy to get her, it's also easy to lose her. Women that value themselves, that have integrity, are not going to spread their legs for you on the first date. It doesn't matter how handsome you are. You can be the most good-looking guy in the entire world. You can have game, charisma, charm. You can be masculine as hell. Does not matter how much she likes you. A woman that values herself is not going to give it up to you right away. Why? Number one, how do you think women disqualify men? A lot of women know that guys only want one thing, which is sex. And a lot of women have heard the stories from their friends, from other girls, or even in their own life, to where they meet a guy, they sleep with him right away, thinking it's going to make him stay with her, and then he leaves. Why didn't he stay? He just wanted to have sex. He didn't want to get to know her. So women know if they hold off on the first few dates, or at the beginning when they meet you, and they don't give you the intimacy right away, and you get upset, and you don't get what you want, and you leave, well, they just save themselves the trouble. Because a man that genuinely wants to get to know her, that isn't horny, that isn't too concerned with lust, who has a happy, whole, complete life, he ain't going to be rushing sex, because he wants to get to know her too. And women understand this. Therefore, they pull back, they hold back the intimacy as a way to disqualify men. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, women know the more sexual partners she has, the less serious she's going to be taken by a high quality man. The more mileage she has down there, you ain't going to want her. And that's reality. So, women understand that if they give themselves to you so quickly, and that's what they have to offer you, you'll never take them serious as a long-term partner. That's really it. Guys, women must always protect themselves because they are the weakest sex. A woman must feel safe and comfortable before she gives herself to you. And this is something that develops over the course of those dates, getting to know you, building an emotional attachment. That is when a woman will feel ready to give herself to you. Why would she come back to your place right away? You could be a serial killer or a rapist or a guy that's going to hurt her. And she's going to have no means to defend herself because she's physically weaker than you. So that is how women protect themselves, by withholding. Okay. So if a woman is that easy, she has no sense of safety. She doesn't value herself. Because she's just that ready to give it up. She's willing to have sex with a man she doesn't know, knowing full well she can get pregnant, right? She can get an STI. This woman doesn't value herself, so why should you? So guys, you as a man must also disqualify women. And easy women are very easy to spot, no pun intended. So do not be deceived and think you have a gem, you got an amazing woman, when things are moving too quick too soon. When she gives you that intimacy. Because you're not the only guy receiving those pictures. You're not the only guy receiving what's between her legs. Okay? Women that value themselves don't just give it out. And genuinely speaking, if a woman typically makes you wait just a little bit, not only is she more interested in getting to know you, she's more likely to be faithful, a much higher chance of being in relationship material than a girl that's just interested in pleasure and sex. So this begs the question, before I go any further into, why a woman does this. Why is she this way? What makes a woman easy? Guys, it comes down to having low self-esteem. Self-esteem comes from self. When a woman doesn't feel confident, happy, loved, she doesn't value herself, she's not complete, she will seek to build her self-esteem externally, from the outside. She will like to receive attention from those around her. And it's something I've said before. Women that are healthy, that have a good, normal level of self-esteem, right? A healthy self-esteem, put it that way. They will only want attention and love from those they are close to. Their family, their friends, a man they have built an emotional attachment to. They're not going to seek attention outside of you and have all these male dudes in backup or want simps to worship her. Because she doesn't need that. She feels good about herself because she feels loved by those around her, that she does love, that she loves back. So women that have a low self-esteem, they will be seeking attention from anyone and everyone, whether it's positive or negative, whether it's someone good for them or someone bad for them. They do not care. They need it constantly because they don't feel good about themselves. They're afraid to be alone. They're miserable. They're unhappy. And it's unfortunately a painful cycle that never ends, because seeking to build your self-esteem from the outside will never work. That's something that comes from within, right? So what happens is, when you date one of these low women, understand that it's all to do with how she perceives herself. It is all to do with the self-esteem, guys. Make no mistake about it. So I've got my notes down here because there's a lot to say on this. So it comes down to 3 factors as to why her self-esteem is so low. Number 1, you already know what I'm about to say. Women that come from a broken home. Women that have a father that was either absent or negligent. The father emotionally abused her, mistreated her, was unavailable. He wasn't good to her. He never built up her self-esteem. He never loved her, made her feel safe or comfortable. He didn't discipline her, teach her right from wrong. He wasn't there for her to make her feel protected. She never trusted in her father. And if a woman does not heal from that, because there are some women that come from a bad home, but they heal. But when a woman doesn't heal, she develops what we call daddy issues. She develops hatred and anger towards her father, which translates to those same negative feelings towards men. So she sees men as creatures she can't trust. She cannot feel safe around guys. But as a human being who desires intimacy, sex, which is a primal instinct, she will still go out and date men. And she will give herself very easily to men as a means to try and build her self-esteem. Because she feels like if every guy wants me, if I can get every guy to want to sleep with me, then I'm valuable. But in the process, she's destroying her value. Okay? So understand, your self-esteem is primarily built up in your childhood. And until you understand your childhood trauma, you'll never be able to rebuild it when you're an adult. You must understand that first. And when a woman has not healed from that, and she has those daddy issues, that is why she has that low self-esteem. That is why she's so easy to give herself to, because she doesn't value herself. Because if she had a good, strong, masculine father, she wouldn't be doing that. The second thing that makes a woman become easy and destroys her self-esteem is girls that are promiscuous. The more sexual partners she has, the less chance she has of pair bonding with you. Because when a woman gives herself to too many men, it changes the wiring in her brain, the pleasure receptors, the oxytocin. And once a woman becomes sexually imprinted by another man, that's the man she has formed a deep-rooted attachment to. He's impacted her life in such a way that the men that come after her, it will never be the same. So in essence, she'll pretty much never get over that guy. Unless she does, a lot of work on herself, which ain't gonna happen. Right? And I've done a video on this a long time ago, right? It was titled, "What is pair bonding? And does her sexual past matter?" And I went through the scientific articles that went through all the facts and all the studies they've done on this. I'll have it linked at the end, don't worry. But that is the second thing. Because when a woman sleeps with more men, she devalues herself. So it gets to a point where she thinks, you know what, I've been with too many of them, it doesn't matter who I sleep with now. She becomes addicted to the pleasure she gets from it. In her mind, she confuses lust with love. She thinks sleeping with all those guys, that they value her, that they take her seriously, that they want her. When in reality is they're just using her. And this is how women become damaged goods. Number 3, and this one is quite heartbreaking. Women that have been sexually abused. When a woman is unfortunately, molested at a young age, and she does not heal from that, this is one of the traumas that can severely destroy a woman's innocence and self-esteem, to where she doesn't even know how to develop any boundaries. She has no trust, any respect in herself. Okay, she feels unsafe, unstable. So she looks outward to gain attention, to temporarily feel good about herself. And these women, unfortunately, bring a lot of issues with them. And this is why they become so easy. I mean, in studies and research they've done on prostitutes, for example, a lot of those women, they were abused. And this is why when you guys watch porn, understand that a lot of those women that get into that type of industry, they are victims of sexual abuse. They're screwed up mentally. And so they make a habit of sex as a way to take control of their life. They feel like, well, now that she's the one, quote unquote, making the choice to have sex with all these different men, with all these different options, that now she has some type of clarity and control, stability in her life. But she's just devaluing herself further. Okay? That's really what it comes down to, guys. These 3 things are what make women easy women. Okay? And you want to disqualify these girls. You do not want to get involved with them, and I'll tell you why. This is what it comes down to. When you get involved with these easy women, and they're giving you their body, intimacy, sex, they're showering you with all this attention, They're telling you they love you. You are going to feel very great, and you are going to mistakenly assume that this is because she's very interested in you, that you are just different than any other guy she's been with, and you're so special. But you see, it's not about you at all, because she hasn't spent the time to get to know you and actually build an emotional attachment with you. Right? It is just an illusion. It is all about her. She's saying and doing these things to pull you in so that she can use you to gain attention and validation. Whether she wants to use you financially, emotionally to temporarily feel safe and secure, the intimacy and the pleasure you provide is solely for her. Whereas a woman that is genuine, as she dates you, she will build the attachment. She'll want to ask you quality questions and get to know your dreams, your hopes, everything about you, your background, your family, what you want from your life. Alright, she'll want to show you that she's a good woman. That is genuine interest. When a woman gives herself to you and she has morals and integrity, this will deepen her attachment to you. That's real interest. But when you barely know a woman, that she's telling you all of these things, that she's crazy about you, that she's never met a man like you before, and that she loves you, but yet she hasn't built that attachment to you, it is fake. And it is a way to mislead you and keep you hooked. Okay? You're the bait. She's using you for attention, for supply. And this is why it's so easy for a woman like this to discard you. And the danger of getting involved with a woman like this is you are going to be left with a low self-esteem. Your confidence will be shattered. Because the moment you can't provide what she needs financially, emotionally, or you get busy with college or work, what happens? She'll dump you. And you'll be left there picking up the broken pieces, wondering where it all went wrong. What did you do? What happened? Why did she stop showing you that high interest? And then you find out she's with some other guy. And then you look at that and you think to yourself, how can she be involved with another man when I'm left here recovering from this relationship we had? It's because she was never attached in the first place. And that's why it's so dangerous. These women will leave you because you were like a toy to her. You were like she's like a spoiled child. And her parents say, here's the new toy. And she's playing with it at first. She's focused on it because it's new. She wants to get to know it and figure it out. Alright? But once the newness wears off, she gets used to it and she gets bored. She's going to look over there and say, Mummy, Daddy, I want that toy. And they're going to give it to her. In other words, when she gets bored of you, because there's no depth to the connection you guys have, because it's one-sided, you're the only one that has a connection, guess what? You don't provide what she needs, she'll meet it elsewhere. Think back to all the monkey branching videos I've done in relation to daddy issues. A lot of the guys that get involved with those women, they're all easy. They're never quality women. It all moved hot and heavy. It was all too good to be true. If it's easy to get her, it's easy to lose her. These women will discard you when you do not meet their needs anymore, because it's never about you. It's always about them. And because these women cannot value you, because even the attention they give you isn't even about you, it's just a reflection of themselves. They're gaining supply. They temporarily feel like, wow, I'm so desirable, I'm so awesome, this guy wants me. But then they look over there and think, and that guy wants me, and that guy wants me, and so does that one. So when you cross a line, you guys have one argument, she's out. And she'll go find some other guy and love bomb him. And this is why it's so dangerous when you get involved with an easy woman. because it's all a trick. They have no standards. They are indiscriminate with their interest level. They show interest to everyone and anyone. As long as they get attention, they don't even care if the guy's good for them or not. As long as they get something. Like a drug addict, they don't care where they get the heroin from. They want it. And if you can't supply it, somebody else will. Because yes or yes, they are going to get what they want. And if she can't get attention from you, she's going to get it elsewhere. That's why these sluts, these attention whores, they're all unstable. You must disqualify them. Look at these girls that are obsessed on social media with external validation. These girls that like to show off their face and their body constantly. It appears to be that these women are so confident, but in reality, it's all fake. Because someone that is truly confident does not need to show themselves off. Unless she's a model or some fitness model and it's her job. When you see these girls and they're so obsessed with showing themselves off, without, on the surface level, it may appear that they're these, wow, she's got a lot of confidence to show herself off like that. She must have a high self-esteem. Wrong. Because if she had a high self-esteem, why would she be even needing to show off her face or her body? That is something she'd want to clothe in modesty. She wouldn't want anyone to see, especially with the amount of creeps and weirdos on the internet. So if she's willing to do that, what does it say about her? External validation. All eyes on me. I want everybody to check me out, to feel good about myself. She has low self-esteem. An attention seeker. But a lot of guys don't get this. Guys, when you meet a girl and it's moving too fast and it seems too good to be true, you got yourself an attention seeker with low self-esteem that's severely damaged and ain't going to bring you nothing but pain. You can get involved with a woman like that. You can try and date her. You can try and have a relationship. But at some point she will leave and she will have somebody else lined up. Because they are unable to see people as people. They see everyone as objects, as a vessel to use. They just suck all the energy out. And this is why with these women as well, look at their friends. Look at the girls they hang around, right? They're the same, right? What does it say in the Bible? Bad company corrupts good morals. Very true. So for you guys that are out dating, looking for a woman, you must understand that just because she's beautiful on the outside doesn't mean there's a whole world of problems on the inside. And it is your job to discern a woman's value. You must take it slow. Because when you first meet her, your feelings ain't going to be involved because you don't know anything about her. It's going to be much harder to pull away a few months in, a year in, 2 years in, when you've actually built an attachment and you don't want to accept it for what it is, because nobody wants to admit they chose the wrong person. Nobody wants to admit they made the wrong type of investment, because when you're involved, you're blinded by your feelings. That logic and reason is going to be in a deep sleep. But when you first meet a girl and you start fresh, you need to keep your eyes peeled. Look, when I was growing up by the beach here in the south in Spain, when it was too dangerous, they put up a red flag. The lifeguards, all the lifeguards will put up red flags all along the beach, right? Which meant you can stay on the beach, but you cannot go into the sea. Because if you go in, either you're going to drown, the current's going to take you far out, or you'll really hurt yourself. That's why we call these things red flags, guys. Okay? You got to stop looking at a woman's beauty and leading with your lust. This is why so many men fall weak. They got no self-control. stop thinking because she's attractive, right, that she's relationship material. It goes so much deeper than that. Look for a woman that's not rushing into the intimacy. It's taking it slow. And finally, guys, understand this. This becomes even more of a problem the more attractive the woman is. If she's an 8, a 9, or a 10, which is what I want you guys to be dating, of course, understand that they get more options than the average women. And unfortunately, even nowadays, with the amount of weak men and sims that are out there, a lot of women get attention, right? However, if she's that beautiful and she gets pretty much options wherever she goes, she's not going to be so easy to give herself to a man, because she can date the most attractive men, the most confident masculine men that she can. She doesn't need to settle or lower her standards because she's that attractive, right? So if she's giving herself so easily to you, that's even worse. People that value themselves, that have a high self-esteem, aren't easy, guys. You as men shouldn't be easy either. Right? Like attracts like. Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo would just switch teams for the sake of it, without looking at the manager, the team, the history, the pay? Because in that case, he has so many options. He can play whichever team he wants. Do you think Tom Brady is just going to switch teams for the hell of it? No. He's got to weigh out his options. He's got so much to choose from. Do you think Brad Pitt is going to accept a role in a movie without looking at the cast, the director, the set, what role they offered him, the pay? Because there's so many different directors that are offering him a place in a new TV show, in a new movie, that why would he rush into anything when you are someone of value that can pick and choose? But it's like the people that, up and coming football players or up and coming movie stars, they're just happy to take a role. They're happy to get a position in a team. Why? Because they're new. They need the experience. They haven't built up any value. So they're going to need it. They're going to want it. But that's a little bit different in relationships. But you get the example I'm giving. You don't just give yourself to any girl, any woman. And women as well shouldn't be giving herself to any man. Okay? Remember, if she's easy to get, she's easy to lose. Guys, that is what it comes down to. People that value themselves don't give themselves and don't open up their heart right away to someone, because they must discern if that person is good to them. And that is something that can only happen slowly over time, by getting to know their character, right? Getting to the core of who they are. And time reveals that. That's something that just doesn't happen instantly. There's no such thing as instantly falling in love. Instantly falling in lust. Because love isn't just a feeling, it's a choice. And it's something that will deepen over time with an emotional attachment, with someone you deeply care about. You can't care about someone you just met. Okay? That's only going to happen once you build that attachment. So guys, avoid easy women, stay away from them. If you date a woman and she has these traits where she's just using you for attention, right? She's quick to give you her body, don't take them seriously, because it will lead you to a very bad place. And she will leave you at some point because she doesn't actually value you. You are just a shell to her, like an object that she's using for her own ego boosting, trying to temporarily satisfy her, because on the inside she's incomplete and she's looking outwardly to use you to make her feel good about herself. And these women you want to avoid. That's the video for today. Give it a like, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below your thoughts, what you'd like to see next. If you would like to reach out to me, the email's in the description. You can talk to me privately. With that said, guys, see you all in the next one.